A question like this on the GRE requires you to understand the use of speed, distance, and time. And formula for speed, distance, and time is what I call the Dst Triangle. Pretty much the way it works is there's a D here, there's an S, and there's a T. D for distance, S for speed, T for time. In this case, we have two people that are involved in the question, Richard and Carla. And so we're going to write R for Richard and C for Carla. And exactly in this situation, we want to see what's happening with their speed. We want to see what's happening with their distance for both of them. See what's happening with the time for both of them. So in this case, they told us that Richard had be traveling at 30 miles per hour. So we're going to put 30 here, 30 mph. And they told us that that Carla is trying to catch up with Richard in exactly 3 hours, which means that her time needs to be 3 hours of time over here. But because she left 30 minutes after Richard left, it means that Richard has had 3.5 hours of time so far. Well, if Richard is going at 30 miles per hour at 3.5 hours of time, that means, using our formula DST here, D is essentially, if you want D, you cover D, and that means that D is speed times time. So that means we need to multiply Richard's speed, which is 30, times his time, which is 3.5. It's 3.5. And when you multiply that, that is going to give you 105 miles, which is the same distance that which is the same distance that Carla has to cover. So her distance is also 105 miles. At this point, we can then easily calculate Carla's speed. And again, you go back to the formula here, speed, you cover speed, which means that speed is distance over time. So that means that we need to go ahead and say Carla's distance is 105, because she has to cover the same amount of miles to catch up with Richard. And we divide that by Carla's time, which is 3 hours. When you divide 3 into 105, that is going to give you 35 miles per hour. And that is the answer to this question, because they asked us how many miles must Carla travel on average per hour to catch up with Richard. So she has to be moving at a much faster speed at 35 miles per hour to catch up with Richard. And so that would be the answer to this question, 35 miles per hour for Carla. Thank you very much.